Hey friends, it's Jacqueline here. In today's video, I'm bringing you my review, full day wear test on the brand new CLE De Peau Radiant Matte Fluid Foundation. And I'm going to put it side by side to the test with the Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. But before we get started, and if you're new here, I hope that you will consider and subscribe to my channel, ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. And now, if you want to see all the details about this foundation and how it compares to this new Tom Ford foundation, then just keep on watching. CLE De Peau just launched a new foundation. It's called the Radiant Fluid Foundation in Matte. And you know that I have, well, if you don't know, welcome to my channel. I'm so grateful that you're here. I do have dry, sensitive skin. I am on my 4th floor. I'm 40 years old and I do have fine lines and large pores. Signs of agents are there, and I really do not tend to go for a matte foundation because sometimes it doesn't agree well with my dry skin, but also sometimes it can age me a little. It doesn't look so natural. But we have seen many brands coming with this new technology of saying that it's a matte foundation, but that it still has radiance, that at the end it feels to myself to be kind of like a natural foundation. And one of my favorite foundations in the last couple months has been the Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. So if you have been watching me, this has appeared on a monthly favorite too. It's a beautiful foundation. It has on top of my, where are you? She's right here. Hold on. She's right here somewhere. Oh, there you go. This is my Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Soft Radiance Foundation. And this one is a complete radiant foundation and it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Anyhow, going back to the soft matte technology with the radiance, I thought, you know what? Let's put them to the test side by side and see if they look alike or not. Let me just read you a little bit about the claims. Now, CLE De Peau also have that foundation that I have it right here. I made a full-on review of this beauty right here. This is a really beautiful, extraordinary foundation that is mostly like, it's kind of like a hybrid between a light coverage foundation and a tinted moisturizer, because it mostly has a lot of skincare properties, and that's what we see a lot on CLE De Peau products. Okay, so let's go really quick on the details about this foundation. By the way, I bought it from Nordstrom. I will be leaving all the links of my makeup today and all the products that I will be using on the description box below for your convenience. So this foundation has an SPF of 20. It costs $130. It comes in 24 different shades. It's made in USA. Now, most of foundations comes with 1 fluid ounces. This comes with 1.1 ounce. So it's just a little bit more. Again, soft matte with a radiant finish. And it says here, has a long-term skin care. And that's usually what CLE De Peau claims on most of their products. It's supposed to smooth and refine your skin, minimize the appearance of pores, and actually make an impact on the pores appearance in a way that is visible in 2 weeks. Okay, so I do have enlarged pores on this area right here, a little bit right here, and on my chin. So we're going to try all of that. It's supposed to give you 8 hours of hydration, but 24 hours where it doesn't look dull, that it just looks like a skin. Now, obviously, I'm not going to wear it for 24 hours because that would be too much, but I assume people like, for example, flight attendants or, you know, depending on your job, some people, they have to extend the amount of time that they use their makeup. And I mean, if that serves you or not, I don't know. It is supposed to be lightweight too. Now, this foundation has a ton of dimethicons. If we go to the ingredient list, it's on the back. Usually I put an image, a picture on my Instagram, and that's why it's super important that you follow me there, of the box and the ingredient list. So the first active ingredient right here is titanium dioxide in 6.6%, which is the sunscreen. And then it has a ton, a ton of dimethicons. And that's not different from Tom Ford. Tom Ford does have a ton of dimethicons as well. Other than that, it also has some other botanical ingredients. And let's see right here, it does have fragrance, it does have mica. Now it does have alcohol in it, and it doesn't specify what type of alcohol is in it. And also it does have talc. So I like to make you aware of those things because some of you may be allergic to talc, and I just want you to know. But again, all the ingredient lists, it will be posted on my Instagram after this review is up. Okay friends, so now going into the Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. It comes in 40 different shades. It costs $88, which is the typical price for Tom Ford foundations. It comes with 1 fluid ounces, it's made in Belgium. It does have a medium to full coverage. Now, when I was making my research for the CLE De Peau foundation, I went to their website, I went to Nordstrom, and then, you know, I did my research. There was nowhere, anywhere that it was specific what type of coverage we should expect from this foundation. Going back again to the Tom Ford, it's supposed to blur imperfections. It does have a soft, silky texture. It is also ultra blendable, has hyaluronic acid. Again, it has a lot of dimethicons, other ingredients. I made a separate dedicated review on wear test on this foundation. So I will be leaving it up on the cards or in the description box below, so that way you can go ahead and watch it and get more informed about this foundation right here. Now, this foundation also claims to have a color true technology, which basically means that again for 24 hours this foundation will not oxidize on you. It will look as close as when you applied it, that it will not look dull and all that jazz, which then again is very alike to what CLE De Peau is claiming, right? And it's supposed to do not settle onto fine lines. It's supposed to resist sweat and humidity. So let's go ahead and let's open up the CLE De Peau foundation and see how it looks on the inside. I mean, this is very weighty packaging for sure. And here we go. This is the beautiful box right here. Now, if you're new here to my channel, I do film in natural light. It's very early in the morning right now when I'm applying these. I will give you maybe like a midday check-in under the sunlight, and then I will come back in the evening to give you my final thoughts about the foundation and, you know, just see how it looks side by side and all that jazz. Okay, let's see right here. Oh, expiration date. So this has a specific expiration date, which is February 2022. I got it in the shade B30, which is the same shade that I use on the foundation. This one right here is the same shade. And let's see right here, the Tom Ford also has a 24-month shelf life. So I mean, I just got it this year. It will be the same, you know, same time frame for expiration, so 2022. Okay friends, and here you go. This is it. This is all glass right here, frosted. I mean, I'm afraid to drop it. Well, the one from Tom Ford is actually plastic, and if I haven't mentioned it yet, but again, everything will be down below on the description box. I have this foundation in the shade 5.6, which is ivory beige. Okay, and here you go. It has that logo on top, and this comes with a nice pump. Okay, so let's go ahead, let me get you closer and let's try these foundations. Okay, so super important right here, when I do my wear test on a foundation, obviously I do like to use primers. Some of my favorite primers are like the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. Also, I love the Victoria Beckham primers, the Cell Rejuvenating one. There's so many. There's even a Glow Recipe sunscreen that I completely love. But when I do my wear test, I do not like to use a primer because I want to see how the foundation sits on my skin, how it blends with my skin, and then from there I can make a judgment whether the foundation needs of a gripping primer or a pore minimizer primer or a radiant primer. Does it make sense? And I think this may be the best way for you also to judge a foundation according to your needs. Another important factor right here that I always say, when you check reviews for any foundation, try to kind of gather some information of the person who is reviewing the foundation and in what area and climate they live. I live in California. The weather in here is not like the East Coast, it's not like Florida where it's humid. Here it's not, well, in the area that I live is very close to the coastline, and therefore it's not super humid, but it's not as dry as in the mountains. And then as far as the weather for today, when I'm filming these, according to the app, it says that we're supposed to arrive to 78 degrees. So it's gonna be a nice warm weather. Now it has been a little bit windy lately in the evening, but we'll see on there. So I just want you again to be aware of the entire thing, my type of skin, my preference, as well as the climate. Okay friends, let me just give you another close look right here. How pretty gorgeous is this foundation. Now definitely the shade that I got may not be like perfect right now for me. I mean, I'm losing a little bit of my tan, but wow, it does have some coverage, I will have to say. Look at that. I think during fall winter months that we are already here, the shade will match me a little bit better, but it's close, it's very close. And then I'm gonna spread it with a beauty blender. Now the foundation does have a scent. It's a floral scent. Okay, right away it gave me a light to medium coverage, close to medium. And pay attention right here, I do have a little bit of redness on my cheeks. I do have freckles. I'm a very freckly girl, and I always say I like to camouflage my freckles but not to cover them because I will look really weird if I do so. I mean, all my life everybody have known me because of my freckles. So I'm just gonna put just a little bit more. It's not a lot, and I'm just gonna spot it in this area right here where I have a little bit more of my redness, and then right here. Now obviously you will get more coverage if you use a brush, but let's do just a sponge, both sides the same. So I'm gonna go with the tone 4 now, and same amount, about, I will say, I use about 3/4 of a pump for the full face. So right now I'm using kind of like half a pump. Now this foundation has a lavender scent because it does have lavender oil in it. Now it dissipates really well. I'm going to use also a beauty blender, a clean one. Okay friends, I got you here very close. What I have noticed is that the tone 4 foundation has a little bit more radiance than the CLE De Peau. And another thing that is very noticeable, the tone 4 is not emphasizing my enlarged pores, but you can see the texture of the enlarged pores. If I compare it with the CLE De Peau, the CLE De Peau gives kind of like a soft filter effect, and the CLE De Peau looks more like a skin, while the tone 4 foundation, it does look like a skin, but it has that little bit of kind of like very light, you know, the porcelain dolls from back on the days, that they have this very light sheen to the skin, something like that. Now I'm gonna finish my makeup off camera, and I just want to let you know that usually when I do these wear tests, for example, I use my concealer and I set all my concealer, this area right here, and that's it. And then I don't put highlighter on my cheeks, so that way I don't give an extra radiance to the foundation, so you can see as best as possible. Also, I will be using a matte bronzer. Pretty sure I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury one, and then I'm going to use kind of like a matte type of blush, and that's pretty much it. So I just want you to be aware of that. I'm not gonna set the foundation either side. Okay, friends. So right now it is, okay, let me tell you, it's 8:48 and my kids, they need to start homeschool in 12 minutes. So I better rush. So just stay tuned, keep on watching for the check-ins that I will do midday and at the end of the day. So yes, 84 degrees today instead of the 78. Whew, wow. Okay, my friends, as you can see, I'm wearing my mask. I just came back to do some stuff. So obviously, I mean, crazy right here. Okay, so here they are, the foundations. I mean, okay, this is the side of the CLE De Peau. This is the side of the tone 4. It hasn't really settled on those fine lines, and I don't know if you noticed, but on the CLE De Peau, it looks like the skin is a little bit more like a stretch, or is my idea? I feel that way, but they look pretty similar. I mean, hot day, I think the tone 4 looks just a little bit more radiant, while the one from CLE De Peau has that radiance but more into kind of like a natural finish. Yeah, and I mean, they both have worn pretty well. Yeah, so right now it's about 4:30ish in the afternoon. I'm sorry I couldn't give you check-in in the middle of the day. It was just busy with homeschooling the kids. So anyhow, my friends, just keep on watching for my final thoughts. So here I am for my final check-in. It's 7:41. Sorry, it's 7:41. And let me just put a little bit of something on my lips. A little bit of Chanticleer. A lip bell. I just need something. I feel naked on my lips. Okay, friends, so let me just get it closer so you can take a peek of how it's looking the foundation right now. So today was, as you were able to tell by my check-in, a very hot day, and I have to say that the foundation pretty much stayed the same. Difference between them, the tone 4 one has more radiance than the CLE De Peau one. That's 100% sure. But the CLE De Peau is impressive how it kept its finish. Its finish is completely the same. Another thing is that it gives this kind of like tight. Sorry, my AC went on again because this is still hot right now. Anyhow, so it does have a kind of like tightening effect, something that it makes you feel like your skin is being lifted, and sometimes you feel that effect when a foundation has alcohol in it. You feel, you know, that tightening that sometimes is uncomfortable, and in fact, if you have dry skin like myself, you'll feel like, okay, now this is dry, you know, like this is drying my face, drying my skin. This is not that. I don't think it's nothing to do with the alcohol. In fact, the alcohol on the CLE De Peau foundation, it's way below after like more than half of the ingredient list. So I don't think it's that. I think it's just, I don't know, the botanicals that it has. But honestly, usually you're able to see my pores, my enlarged pores. And on this one, I mean, they are there, but they are not emphasized. They look, this foundation has a soft focus effect. That's what it has. Well, the one in tone 4, it looks a little bit more radiant, but yet I think on the tone 4, I will prefer to use just a little of my Tatcha Silk Canvas right here. And if you go back to my previous videos, that I, you know, like any of my videos, and you go check wherever I have my Tom Ford foundation on, which has been what, the month of August. Yes, August and part of September, a few days of September, because then I have been trying Chanel. But you will see that on the description I use the Tatcha Silk Canvas, and it's not all over the face, it's just right here to kind of like help diminish those enlarged pores that honestly Tom Ford doesn't emphasize them. It's not that I feel, you know, uncomfortable if I use it this way, not at all, but I just feel that, you know, like in comparison with the CLE de Peau, the CLE de Peau makes your skin look throughout the day very perfected. I mean, I'm so impressed, like even on the fine lines. I mean, there's no settling on the Tom Ford side, but here on CLE de Peau has kind of like a lifting effect. I'm just so impressed, so impressed. I mean, for a person that has dry skin, it's really hard to get impressed by a foundation that, even if it's a soft matte foundation, sometimes they just don't look okay, you know. And this foundation is completely the opposite. Now just count that I didn't do like a whole lot today because I had, you know, like I had a busy day, mostly in the house, homeschooling the kids. I have an AC on, but I have gone out like maybe two times. Yes, 2 times throughout the day for very little amount of time to be in, you know, like the weather condition obviously was hot. I wouldn't say that I broke a complete sweat, but with a mask, I felt, you know how you feel with a mask is kind of gross. You just feel that heat on your face. And for having all of that, I mean, if I was impressed with the Tom Ford, the way that it wears off, like how beautiful it looks on the skin, I'm equally and even more impressed with the one of CLE de Peau. I'm just like in shock, in complete shock. I think this will work perfectly fine for those like me that have dry skin. Also those who have, I mean, I do have sensitive skin too, and I didn't feel like all throughout the day, I don't feel like I had to, you know, sometimes certain foundations, they make you itch or you just want to take it out. I don't feel that way at all. And by the way, talking about that, this foundation is a little bit, just a teensy bit lighter weight than the Tom Ford. And I think it will work perfectly fine for those who have dry to normal skin, normal to oily combo skin. But I think it's just such a wonderful foundation to keep its beauty. I mean, my skin honestly looks perfected and lifted. I mean, pretty good right there, pretty good. Okay, my friends, and now I would love to know from you, have you tried this new CLE de Peau foundation? Have you tried the Tom Ford soft matte foundation? You have to let me know. Are you excited for any of these foundations? Are they kind of like piquing your interest? I would love to know from you, what is your opinion and what you think of how the foundations look side by side on my skin. I hope that this video serves you. I mean, for me, the most important thing when I do comparisons is for really give you more information, so that way if you're debating into getting one foundation versus the other, one product versus another, you know, that it really helps you to make that decision a little bit easier. By the way, remember that the CLE de Peau foundation have proprietary ingredients that are supposed to help in the long run with how your skin looks. Anyhow, my friends, I would love to read your comments down below and while you're at it, and if you haven't done so yet, I hope that you will consider and subscribe to my channel. Make sure to ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. And I'm gonna repeat this once again, and I'm gonna be repeating this many times perhaps, but it seems like YouTube is gonna start removing the notification system, and that's really hard on small YouTubers like myself, because notifications is the way for us to communicate with you guys when we are uploading a new video. And on this case, I do have an Instagram, so for me, I will be putting on Instagram, hey, there's a new video right now, so that will be another way for me to communicate with you guys. So if you don't mind, please come and follow me on Instagram. There I show you a lot of other things. We keep in communication with the new releases and whatnot. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also share with family and friends. And until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye bye.